Hey guys, welcome to my channel IshaDevops. This is Biswajit. So today we'll discuss about what is Jenkins, what is CICD, how Jenkins is being used in the DevOps continuous integration and continuous deployment. We will discuss about Jenkins features, Jenkins plugins, Jenkins architecture. So let's come to the slide. Thank you. Okay, so now we came to the slide. So Jenkins, what is Jenkins? First, we will learn. Before that, I will explain how in the software industry, continuous integration and continuous deployment works, right? So let's say there is a developer, okay? So this is a developer, D1. So he pushes the code to Git, okay? So once the code is pushed to the Git repository, okay, so and it is being built. So after building is done, okay, it is being pushed to the testing team. So testing team do the testing of the build. So once the whatever the code and whatever the application they have built, it is successful, they will validate it and deploy to the server. So let's say now the code is not correct. So testers has validated and they told that this code is not correct. So again, we have to go back to the code. We have to correct that code, right? So it takes time, right? So once developer will again verify the code, again push it, again build it, and again tester will do the testing, and it is successful. Then it will be goes to the server. So what continuous integration does, what Jenkins does, it gives it seamless effort. It automate these things. Okay. Once the integration is done, once the code is being pushed, automatically it will go to the testing. One testing is done and automatically it is being pushed to the code level. And once the code is being developed by the code, again, it is automatically pushed to the tester and it is automatically deployed to the server. So the time, whatever time it was taking, now it is not there. Introduction to Jenkins. What is Jenkins? So Jenkins is a open source automation tool written in Java programming language that allows continuous integration. So Jenkins is ensures the continuous integration and deployment of applications, making it a go-to monitoring, testing, and feedback processes. At the Jenkins, you can ensure smooth, automated, and accelerated pipeline that eliminates manual error. Okay, like Jenkins allows the developers to develop and complete the task with ease while taking care of the building, testing, and deploying the things. Here you can see. So this is let's say I will open the pointer where you can easily understood. So this is the developer. Okay. So developer develop the codes. He commits the code and send it to the repository, any repository like GitHub, or Bitbucket or something. And after the code is pushed to the GitHub repository, it is automatically built and it is triggered to Jenkins. So we have the integration with Jenkins and GitHub. So once the code is pushed to the GitHub, it is automatically built by Jenkins and it is pushed to the server, okay, for deployment. Okay, so if the build failed, okay, let's say after building is done, the build got failed here, it is the team got notified that build got failed. So again, they will change the code, they will push to the repository and it will automatically integrate, and Jenkins is used as a continuous integration tool here. So same here as a server. Okay, here is my server. Okay, so it does the deployment, continuous deployment as well. So it uses various tools like Docker, Kubernetes to deployment. So Jenkins is a continuous integration and continuous deployment tool, which it automate the build procedure. Okay, once the code is building with int or maven at something, so Jenkins is used to build that and easily deploy that code. Okay, So let's up to the next slide. So what is the history of the Jenkins? Koshuke Kawagachi, a Java developer working at Sun Microsystem, was tired of building the code and fixing errors repetitively. Okay. In 2004, he created an automated server, Hudson. So Jenkins is the advanced version of Hudson. So Hudson, what it does, it automates the build and test tasks. What Jenkins does, it also does the same thing. In our older generation, what we do, we build the code, we do the testing, and again testing. After testing, if the code is error, then again we build the code and write the code and build the code. Again we do the testing, again we push it to the server. This is all manual process we are doing. In through Jenkins, we have done the automation. Everything is done by Jenkins. Okay, one click and things are done. Build is done, testing is done, deploying is done, everything is done. So this is the history. And in 2011, Oracle, who owned Sun Microsystem, had a dispute with Hudson open source community. So they forked Hudson and renamed it as Jenkins. So what Oracle did, they had a fight with Hudson. So they, whatever the project they were doing with Hudson, they forked it and they renamed it as Jenkins. So both Hudson and Jenkins continued to operate independently. But in a short period, Jenkins acquired a lot of projects and contributors while Hudson remained with only 32 projects. With time, Jenkins became more popular and Hudson was not maintained anymore. So tools used for CI process are Jenkins, Bamboo, TeamCity, and many more. So continuous integration, not only Jenkins, we use Bamboo also, we use TeamCity, we have Azure DevOps, we have Circle CI. So many continuous integration tools are now available in the market. So we will go to the Jenkins pipeline. Okay. So what Jenkins pipeline does? So first, once this is the GitHub repository. Okay. So once the code get pushed. Okay. So this is the code pushed by the developer. Once the developer write the code through Java or .NET or PHP, they push it and they commit it to the code repository, right? So once the code is committed, it started building. So build is done by and Maven, Gradle. So there are so many tools which we used for building. Okay. So once building is done, we will send it for testing, right? So testing team will do the testing by JUnit or we have our unit testing, we have performance testing. So once the testing is done, so if it is unsuccessful, again, it will go back to the coder. Okay. So coder will again verify the code and it will again change the codes and validate it and again commit it and again it will go to the build and again it will go to the testing. Once the testing is successful, it will go to the staging area. Let's say pre-prod. Okay, staging, or we'll tell it as pre-prod. So in this pre-prod area, the staging code is there, and again after that it will go to the deploy. So this is the complete process. Commit, after that build, after that test, after the stage, after that deploy. What is a Jenkins pipeline? Jenkins pipeline is a suite of plugins. So Jenkins is a tool. It is developed by Java. So it completely depends on the plugins. So whatever external tools or integration thing you are using, you need plugins. It is a suite of plugins that allows you to efficiently and easily automate every step of your build process. With it, users define an entire application delivery pipeline as code. Make it easy to track changes and update. Benefits of using pipeline. What is pipeline is used for? So a pipeline provides a suite of tools designed to optimize and manage infrastructure to data workflow, including faster delivery and identification of errors. Pipelines are highly adaptable with change management or approval process. Let's say in your project, okay, your code is being deployed to production server. So before it is deployed to the production server, it is being validated by your manager, right? So the approval process is being defined by Jenkins. We can do, and we have the reporting and analytics method also. So how many build has been done, how many release has been done, all the report you can generate from Jenkins. Okay, so these all things we can use and we can do that through Jenkins. We can discuss it later in the detailed way. Creating a Jenkins pipeline. So syntax and structure of a pipeline script is Jenkins has its own domain specific language like Groovy. Okay, Jenkins use Groovy scripting with which you can script your pipeline. Its syntax and structure are important. The pipeline script is easily edited and it can update it to meet the needs of the pipeline goals and stages. You can n number of times you can delete or you can create the pipeline. So what is the steps? You have to define the stages first, adding the pipeline script, choosing agents, checking for syntax, running the pipeline are the main steps to create a pipeline in Jenkins. By defining the stages like build, then test, then deploy, continuous integration and continuous deployment, you can have the pipeline implemented and completed in an efficient manner. So you have to define the stages, you have to write the syntax accordingly, and you have to define the stages like if you have build, if you have Docker build, if you have test, you have to deploy through Kubernetes, you have post build actions, all those things, stages you can define and you can write. This is the basic build, test, and deploy. After that, we will understand in Jenkins, we have two types of pipeline, that is declarative and scripted. So we can use both the ways. Okay. If let's say declarative is efficient if you don't need Jenkins libraries or Jenkins help, right? You have a scripting like Groovy scripting. You write the code, whatever the things, the dependency. It basically, if you are using shell scripting dependency, your SH or any other scripting, you can write PowerShell scripting. You can use any scripting you can add here, and you can automate the task. So this is a open source automatic. This is declarative pipeline. Let's say you don't want libraries of Jenkins, you can use declarative. So the syntax is pipeline. You will start from pipeline and declarative pipeline, then agent any, then you can define the stages, build, test, deploy, right? So in scripted is the pipeline defined by Jenkins. We can use the Jenkins library, whatever the things we need help, Jenkins library, we get the help, whatever the dependencies we can get from Jenkins. So it is easier if you are very new to Jenkins, you don't know how to write the script, Jenkins will help you in this. So when you write a scripted pipeline, Jenkins will give you the guidance. Let's say what you have to write first, what you have to write second, how you have to write the bracket. These are libraries and all are saved, so you can be help. It will be helpful, but it is not. You cannot change the code according to yourself because it is predefined by Jenkins. Okay, so if anything you want to add from your own, you cannot do it. Only in declarative pipeline you can write your own script. But in scripted pipeline, it's already scripted, right? So Jenkins has the rules. So you have to follow that. Node, then stage, then you have to build, then you have to test, then you have to deploy. So this is declarative versus scripted. Then there are examples of Groovy script in Jenkins pipeline. Groovy script are used everything from installing software to automating build processes in Jenkins. They can be used to set, retrieve variables, trigger builds, archive files, much more. Whatever you want to do in your project. Okay, it is very versatile. So examples of Groovy script is it can be used to tailor Jenkins application to meet the needs of engineers for specific goals. So it includes script to redeploy a workspace, automate the building of a Docker container, artifacts from an earlier build. Everything you can do through Groovy scripting. Okay. So important terms and terminologies we use in Jenkins. First is node. What is node? We should understand in Jenkins. So Jenkins, there are master node, worker node. So in Jenkins, a node is a machine actually, a server or a machine. This is a node. So we call the Jenkins that is node. A node is a machine that is capable of executing the pipeline or projects. Both the controller and agents are considered to be nodes. Okay. So you can understand in a simple way. Node is a server. Okay, if you understand what is server, operating system, node is that of Jenkins. So we call it as node. What is Jenkins controller? So I told you node are two types, like worker node and master node. So Jenkins controller is master node. So basic installation of Jenkins operating along is called a master. So the controller handle all tasks of your build system in this configuration. So Jenkins controller schedules projects, assigns agents, and sends build to agent to execute projects. The controller will also monitor the agent's state, receive build result responses, and display build results. Controller is called as master node. And what is slave node or worker node is agent. Jenkins controller is the original node in the Jenkins installation, as I explained you. So Jenkins controller controls the Jenkins agents. Agents are worker node or slaves, and orchestrates their work, including scheduling projects on agents, monitoring agents. Agents may be connected to Jenkins controller either locally or via the cloud. Okay. Then plugin. Jenkins has over 1700 plugins that extend its functionality. You can browse the full plugins library, and plugins can be easily added through Jenkins dashboard. So when I will show you the steps to install the Jenkins and how to create the pipelines. I will show you what is Jenkins dashboard and how you can plugins library being used, and show you all this. So plugin functions range from adding source code management like Git, Bitbucket, or Azure code to automating build agents using Kubernetes, even creating custom dashboard views. So Jenkins can also through plugins, it can create very beautiful dashboards to easy to look, and it's very visible, good visible. So plugins is the main thing of Jenkins. Whenever you install a Jenkins, after installing, it will predefinedly, it will install some of the plugins so that it will work. Okay. And project. What is project? Formerly, a project can be considered as a job. It's a particular automated task to achieve a required object in Jenkins. User can create and build these projects. After installing Jenkins, we'll create a job or a task or a pipeline for build, test, and deploy, right? We already explained. So that we called as a project. What is Jenkins file? A text file. Jenkins file is a text file that contains the definition of Jenkins pipeline. Either is a declarative or scripted. You can write in a Jenkins file and you can push it to your source code repository. Okay. And Jenkins file, how you have written, okay, according to the syntax, okay, it will be fetched and it will be used in the Jenkins for build, test, and deploy. So Jenkins file is the main file where you have to write the syntax, declarative or scripted. Artifacts. Artifacts can be used to represent data created as a side effect of running a Jenkins build. Whenever Jenkins build a application, it will create the artifacts, the dependencies, the code, Java code, war file, jar file, it will create the artifacts. So artifact files are associated with a single build. A build can have any number of artifacts. So artifacts will be stored in the Jenkins working directory. I'll show you once I will go to the installation and stuff. What is Groovy? Apache Groovy is a powerful multi-faceted language for the Java platform. It can be used to orchestrate your pipeline in Jenkins. It can be glue different languages together. Groovy can also be used as one of the scripting languages for the Java platform. So Groovy specifically we use for Jenkins for the scripting purpose. Like declarative pipeline, I told you, whatever we write that the format is Groovy format. So if you want to write a proper Jenkins file with, or you want to write a very beautiful structured Jenkins pipeline, you should understand Groovy scripting. So how many types of project are there in Jenkins? There are freestyle project, pipeline project, Maven project, multi-configuration project, folder. Multiple projects types are there. This I will explain you. How Jenkins continuous integration delivery work. Commit, build, test, stage, and deploy. We already discussed this in the previous slide. So development to code commit, then it will go to test, Then after it is done, it will go to production server, right? Then tips and tricks for writing efficient and maintainable scripts. So what is the formula? Scripts should be kept small and focused on specific tasks to avoid complexity. Okay. Naming convention or methods and variables should be descriptive. Care should be taken not to introduce new variables. Code should be reviewed as part of the build process. How to handle the error and debugging in Jenkins. Errors can arise at any stage of the pipeline process. It's important to write your script so that they can cope with those interruptions and handle them gracefully. In addition, debugging a pipeline script is must with many options like console log, script console, pipeline visualization, etc. So here, how error are there? Developer write the code, build from the source code, run the automated test. If everything okay, it will merges the code and ready to deployment. Okay. If the problem is detected here after automated testing, it will again go to developer. Okay. So Jenkins is here. It is doing everything. If everything okay, it is pushing to the changes and to the developer. If it is not okay, problem detected, it is going to the developer. Right? So conclusion. We already understood the process of the Jenkins pipeline. So what is the points we have covered? We have covered Jenkins pipeline creation, examples of Groovy scripting, what is difference between declarative and scripted pipeline, and with the versatility and easy of the use, Jenkins provides a simple manageable server and pipeline infrastructure for faster build and build delivery. Okay. So in addition to the topic covers highlighted in this presentation, feel free to ask any questions, work with your team, incorporate Jenkins in your application. Okay, there are already so many, documentations available. So you go there and it's Jenkins website. It has the installation is already there. So you go there and install Jenkins by Windows or by Linux or Ubuntu, whatever you want to use, you use it. And conclusion. So if you have any questions, write down in the video, and in the comment section also you can ask me questions. I will share my WhatsApp link and my Telegram link and my Instagram. So if you have any questions related to this, you can ask me the questions directly. I will reply for sure. Okay. And please like, share and subscribe the channel if you like this video. In the next video, I will share how to install the Jenkins in Windows, and I will create a pipeline also with the basic build, test and deploy structure. Uh, and if anybody wants how to install the Jenkins in Ubuntu or Mac OS, please comment. I will also share that video. And after that, I will explain how we can use Jenkins, integrate with GitHub and with other stuff like Docker and Kubernetes. So in that, stay tuned for the next video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.